Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Birmingham Goes Live. I'm Josh Petty-Demonge.
And I'm Daisy Edwards. On today's show, we'll be talking to Poppy Wilkinson, the president of the Guild, about the big conversation.
And Ed Sainsbury will be joining us to talk about his experience as a resident ambassador.
So without further ado, let's welcome Poppy. Hi.
Hello Poppy, thanks for joining us today.
That's okay, it's lovely to be here.
So, last night you held something called the Big Conversation.
That's correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. It was sort of the launch of what we're hoping is going to be a much bigger conversation this year, and it all forms part of officer engagement and getting students to really engage with the Guild this year.
That's great. I was unable to attend this event due to various reasons, and it's terrible, but you managed to cover a wide range of topics that people felt were very important to them. Did you feel like it was a worthwhile event, and will you be putting on similar events throughout the year, or is this a one-off?
Absolutely, it was very worthwhile. I think that what was really important and different about the event was that we wanted to make it quite different from other events, like Guild Council, for example. So we weren't stood at the front discussing topics. We actually broke off into workshops, and we had the opportunity to really talk to students and to listen to them as well, which we found really useful.
Did you find it gave a much more sort of relaxed feel to the whole thing, so people might want to open up a bit more rather than feel like they're being preached to or something, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's accessibility issues with having a sort of speaker and audience type setup. People are much less likely, I think, to ask the questions that they really want to ask. So yeah, we found it good.
That's good. I'm part of loads of societies, as are many students here. Were there any sort of big topical society problems that were brought to the surface, or was there anything that you weren't expecting that was covered last night?
Within my group myself, I was focusing on postgraduates, mature and part-time students, and within my group there wasn't anything. It was almost, I can assume what I think the problems are for those students, but I can't say. But so the opportunity to listen to those students was really valuable, but we haven't had the opportunity to go through all the spreadsheets of the flip chart paper yet, but hopefully it'll give us some good quality stuff to work with.
There's a lot of big issues that were brought up, like your new zero tolerance policy and international students and Paralympics. You know, do you ever feel like as a guild you're trying to take on too much, or there's too many things going on?
I don't think it's a case of taking on too much. I think it's recognising the really big and important issues facing students at Birmingham today. And I think that the Student Union and the Guild, we have a responsibility to recognise and acknowledge those problems and those issues and take them forward and really develop a strategy and a plan that addresses those for students.
Of course, yeah.
With all those problems that you've got to take on, of course, not just you but other members in your committee, how do you plan on addressing them? Is it sort of the biggest ones first, or is there a priority scale that you work on?
Well, this year is quite exciting because we've got 3 big reviews happening. So we've got our strategic review, which means that our strategic plan is coming to an end, so we'll be writing a new one. We're going through a democratic structures review and an officer review, so it's probably a really good opportunity for students to raise these issues, and it means that we can incorporate those into the next 3-year plan for the Guild of Students. So yeah.
Do you feel like the pizza might have enticed a few new members over there?
It always does. It's our favourite trick at the Guild, I think.
Definitely think it worked.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Did you get a good turnout in the end?
It was, yeah. I think I was a bit nervous for it. It was sort of that I took the officer lead on this event as it was part of my manifesto and something that I got elected to do, improve officer engagement. So I was a bit nervous personally beforehand, but I was really impressed, and it was nice to see some new faces and first years there as well. So I was very encouraged.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
That's okay. Thank you very much.
And Poppy will be joining us later on to take part in the university's game of Taboo.
Now, RA nominations will be opening on Monday, and Ed Sainsbury will be coming in to talk to us about that in a sec, but we're just going to look at a short clip to find out more.
Hi, I'm Dave Giles, your Vice President Housing Community. One of the main parts of my role is to be responsible for the Residents Association scheme in halls. Being an RA in my first year was genuinely one of the best things I did during my time here at Birmingham, and you can nominate yourself to get involved from the 28th of October. But don't just take it from me. Here to tell you a bit more about why the scheme's so great and why you should all get involved are some of your RAs from 2013.
It's great being an RA because I've loved to organise events with such great variety, and being able to do this independently is something I've never had a chance to do before. Meeting all your residents within your halls is one of the best things about being an RA.
The best thing about being an RA is meeting all our new residents and giving them the experience that we had, as well as going to all the fresh events with them.
RAs are important because they are the link between you and your Students' Union. They let you know about all the events and opportunities that are happening, and also they give you information about what's going on campus. So they're a vital link between residents and the university and student life.
Being an RA, I've made some of my best friends, and it's been such a great experience of working with people and within the guild.
What I got out of being an RA is meeting a lot of people and also being able to be intrinsically involved with running and organising a large number of different events, which are good transferable skills for the future, for careers and other opportunities.
RAs are a vital part of hall life. We're the link between the people in halls to the guild. We help out with such small things such as advice on things that have gone wrong in your flat to voting for you in guild council.
If any of you are considering becoming an RA, I'd recommend you to stand for it. It's a great way to meet loads of other people in your residence and a great way to get involved on campus and in your students' union.
For all residents thinking about going to be an RA, definitely do it. It's a great experience and you meet some great people.
Groovy. And now we're welcoming Ed to the studio. Hey Ed, thanks for joining us. First question is that you as an RA obviously had to go forth and get this position. What sort of made you go for it in your first year?
Initially I wasn't really that aware or involved with the guild. Then I got involved as a rag rep actually with a student society, and through that became more aware of other things happening, and the elections were advertised and I decided to just go for it.
That's great.
Do you have any advice for someone that's running at the moment, like any good tactics?
I'd say do the usual stuff to get your face out there, so posters, leaflets, etc. But the real thing that gets voters is talking to people face to face. Door knocking is a really good tool.
Cool. In your first year, you were RA for Pritchett's, weren't you? And now you are RA for Liberty Square. Close.
Yeah.
Was close. I was wondering, because you were called back by the guild to do that. Can you tell us more about that, please?
Yeah. So when the university gave out offers, they had more students than the initial accommodation they were going to use. So they put more students in Liberty Close. So 3 ex-RAs, including myself, were asked to come back and run events for them. So we've been doing that this term.
Oh. Were you really pleased they called you back?
Yeah, I think it was a good decision for the guild because it meant that these students could have access to events and support and advice about the guild during their first few weeks.
That is a big important part of it, isn't it? The link between the students and the guild. That's basically what the RAs do, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. With students who aren't able to have that support, there is a noticeable difference, and I think it's really good that the guild is making an effort to try and improve that and make sure all students have access to some support and guidance.
That's great. I remember in my first year, I didn't really have a good connection with my RAs. They weren't horrid, it's just there wasn't a click or anything. What do you try to do with your little first years to make sure that they are having a good time?
We run a range of different events because obviously not everyone enjoys the same things.
Yeah.
So we try and run a range of different things, sometimes going out, sometimes having a meal, trying to be creative as well. So we have new ideas that come up all the time, trips elsewhere in the country so people can get to see a bit of the country, especially if they're international or Erasmus students. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much for coming.
That's great. Well, now we're going to be moving on to playing the game, University Taboo. So we'll need to welcome back Poppy. Hi,
Come on, Poppy. Come in.
Join
Come
us.
Okay.
Right.
So the basic premise of this game that I'll just explain to our lovely viewers out there is that Ed, you will be trying to describe as many words as you can to Poppy without saying some of the words underneath. And Poppy, you'll have a minute and a half to try and guess as many words as you can that Ed is trying to describe. And you'll be working together, so good luck. And then we'll place your score on the...
Yeah, we have a scoreboard.
So we'll do that in a minute. So without further ado, if you want to have your cards, and I'll get the timer out, also known as a standard watch. Ready?
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, students use this to tell the time and it's in the middle of campus.
Oh, Jay.
Yes, okay. If you're going somewhere else, so if I was going home, I'd use this form of transport and I'd have to go through this place.
University Station?
No, it's
Birmingham
bigger.
Mystery?
Yes. This place, basically gun barrels no longer exist, so people go here instead.
Stoke?
Yes. This happens at the weekend.
Fab?
Yeah.
Fab and Fresh?
Yes. This is outside the.
Mermaid?
I can't say.
Mermaid Square?
Yeah. This is where people who don't do societies but still get involved in something would probably normally go. It's a building.
Reception?
No, so they don't do societies, but they do something similar to society.
Monroe Sports Centre.
Yeah. This guy was in a video just now.
Dave Charles, Vice President of Community.
This is another SAB.
Jethro Lee.
But
Molly Wright.
No.
Hattie Craig.
No.
Vicky Harris.
Yes. Yeah, if you want a meal in the morning after you've been out.
Stelly sausage.
Yes. If you the guild doesn't go here anymore.
Gay Crusher.
Yes. This is a hall with lots of
Mason.
people. No.
Tennis courts.
Yes.
10.
If you need new clothes.
That's it.
Okay.
Time's up.
You guys scored 10 whole points.
That was a very, very impressive
Yeah,
score.
so-
I didn't expect you to get that far.
Shall I start pinning them?
Yeah, put them up on the
Cool.
lovely board
Lovely
here.
board.
If you want to place that in front of
Yeah, there we go.
show
Lovely
the
numbers.
camera this beautiful points board that we have. So each week the idea is that they'll be competing against each other, and then see if someone beats 10. 10
Definitely
is the
good solid
great
start.
solid
Yeah.
start at the moment. I think.
Absolutely. I think we're onto a winner there. I am
definitely.
very competitive, so
Are you?
just to warn you.
Oh, really?
We might have to get you back.
Yeah.
Do it again at some point.
Poppy
Brilliant.
returns. Brilliant.
Excellent. Well, if you find yourself at a bit of a loose end this week, then Dave Veneer is around to show you the things that are going on in Birmingham this week.
I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. What the guild TV is going on this week? Well, lucky for you, I've been running around finding out exactly what's going on this week. So tonight, Potterstock have their Philosopher's Stone Leaky Cauldron pub quiz right here in Bioma from 6:30 till 10. There are loads of Potter prizes up for grabs. It's £1 for members and £2 for non-members, so come along and answer some questions. Tomorrow night, the Birmingham Footnotes Comedy Society have their regular stand-up night here, where heckling is banned. I'm in the Bristol pair, it starts here at 7 p.m, or there's a walking bus from the Guild of Students at 6:30. For non-members it's £3, and for members it's £2. If stand-up comedy is not your thing, then here at the Bramwell Music Building we have the launch of the Creative Minds at Birmingham, with new poet Jamie McKendrick reading from his Out There collection. There are only tickets online, so get clicking now. If films tickle your fancy, then there's a plethora of films out this Friday, starting with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. If you like the first film, you'll love this one. It will definitely be your cup of animated meatballs. We also have Ender's Game with Harrison Ford is finally back on our screens in this sci-fi space thriller. Our next film stars writer and star of Gavin and Stacey, James Corden, as he hits the screen for the first time since Lesbian Vampire Killers. The film is a biopic of Paul Potts, the winner of Britain's Got Talent, and looks at his rise to become opera star. Simon, if you're watching, Nessun dorma, Nessun dorma. Hey, that's all from me. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, Dave. Well, if you guys happen to be in a society and you've got any big events coming up, feel free to contact us to be in next week's episode. Our email address is gtv@guild.bham.ac.uk. And that's it for us this week.
I'm afraid so, but we're going to leave you with music from Max Merrick-Wren, who'll be performing at the Duck and Scholar tomorrow night if you're interested. But thank you and goodbye.
Toodles.
Well, we messed it up, you can dress it up if you want, but your finest brush can't scrape this clean. Well, I won't point the gun, now your chambers are laid on, and the black eyes, they glint and they gleam. Well, I've been speaking through my teeth, and my teeth are vessels of the truth. And remind me all I could lose. Because I can't see past the terror that strikes me, and it strikes me. Your new fallen man, oh, a figure so far from hand. Well, he's not well. No, he's so ill. See the ghosts in his face. Oh, you put them in their place, and now the feeling spreads. Fail to foretell. Well, I've been speaking through my teeth on vessels of the truth. And remind me all I could lose. I can't see past the terror that strikes me, and it strikes me. Oh, the terror that strikes me. Oh, the terror that strikes me. Oh, the terror that strikes me. Oh, the terror. Well, I've been speaking through my teeth on vessels of the truth. Remind me all I could lose. Because I can't see past the terror that strikes me, and it strikes me.